कर दे।
देखा वॉइस आएगी, आई हैव अलाउड फॉर वॉइस। ला 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 ला।
कुछ दिख नहीं रहा।
स्टार्ट वर्चुअल कैमरा।
नहीं वो रहने दे। हाँ इसको ऐसे रख।
ओके, मेरे को बेसिकली मीटिंग दिखानी है अपनी। सोर्स
एक सेकंड रुक
सोर्स।
जा। हाँ तू आवाज आ रही है, अब वॉइस आ रही है।
ओके दैट इज गुड। मेरे ही अकाउंट पे हुआ है,
अभी
टाइटल वगैरह सब आ रहा है ना?
हाँ टाइटल आ रहा है, डिस्क्रिप्शन भी ढंग से आ रहा है। मैंने हाई डाल दिया चैट में।
ओके अब देख, अब मीटिंग भी आ जाएगी। आई शुड स्टॉप स्क्रीन शेयरिंग, फिर आएगी। अब देख।
उसको टाइम लगेगा, 2 मिनट लगेंगे। अभी तो ये वहां पे है जब हम लोग, हाँ जब मैं तेरे को बता रहा था कि सब कुछ आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा
एक
है।
बार लेटेस्ट। ओके अब आ गई। हाँ अब अपनी वीडियोस ऑन कर लेते हैं।
एक सेकंड।
स्क्रीन
ओ
शेयरिंग तेरी
कोई आया,
रेडी?
गीता कुमार।
लाइव हमें देखने।
हु
देख
इज
एम आई
गीता
स्टिल
कुमार?
लाइव? मैंने क्योंकि गलती से क्रॉस कर दिया।
आई थिंक यू स्टिल। ओह अब मीटिंग आ रही थी, तेरी मीटिंग आ रही थी when you said वीडियोस ऑन कर लेते हैं।
हम्म
Let me just check if you're still live. Yeah, we're still live.
वी विल जस्ट कट ऑल दिस पार्ट आउट ना बाद में।
हाँ in the download you'll cut it out. Oh हाँ अब लाइव नहीं है तू, you'll have to go live again.
ओह नो बेस्टी।
तूने उसको क्रॉस क्यों किया? इसे रुक।
क्योंकि वो विंडोज वाला मेरे को करना पड़ा, उसके बाद ही
नहीं
मेरे
आ
को।
रहा है आ रहा है आ रहा है आ रहा है आ रहा है, अभी भी लाइव आ रहा है।
सोच ले बेस्टी।
हाँ आ गया, आ रहा है आ रहा है आ रहा है आ रहा है आ रहा है
एक
आ
बार
रहा
ही
है, दिख
फोन
भी
से
रहा है
चेक
आ
कर ले,
भी रहा है।
फोन से चेक कर ले।
नहीं हो गया, it is working. अब मैंने
ओके
incognito पे चेक कर लिया। Okay,
एंड
let's ask everyone to join.
वो रुक जा, जस्ट लेट मी सी गूगल डॉक्स वर्किंग है। देखियो स्क्रीन शेयर तो नहीं हो रही।
Okay, नहीं हो रही। Welcome guys, welcome Nandita, welcome Rashi.
वेलकम टू द मीटिंग गाइस।
Hello.
हाय, हाउ आर यू गाइस
Okay,
डूइंग?
We're good.
that's very good to know.
We'll be starting in a few more minutes. We are just doing some technical setup for the live
Yeah,
stream and everything. Kartikeya, can you check if the stream is active?
yeah, the stream is working. I'll send this link to the stream in the WhatsApp group
But I
itself.
hope just the screen, that screen is visible, not the other window tabs.
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, great.
Oh God, one's just facing some issues. Okay. Guys, if your teammate is not here yet, or if somebody else that you're in contact with is not here yet, please try to call them, text them. We're still waiting for like 2 to 3 more people, I think. If you kindly reach out to Rana. Or should I-
I
Urshita,
just
can
hit
you do
start.
so?
Yeah, I'll just text her.
Okay, great.
And once is Aryan coming, please try to contact him too.
She said she'll be just there in a sec.
Okay, great.
Hello guys, so sorry I'm late. There was a network issue.
Hey, Naina, not an issue. Guys, is every teammate here?
No, we are still waiting for Aryan. When should you please call Aryan?
I think I should just pause the live stream for the moment.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll be starting in three, two, and one. Greetings, everyone. A very warm welcome to you all. I, Nupur Tham, along with my coordinator, Kartike Mendiratha, are honored to present to you the first Council of Visualizing India at 100, the Economics Council. So, as of now, India has come a long way to mark 75 years of independence. A lot of progress was made in this eventful time frame, marked with multiple challenges. But we have managed to stay strong and become the economic powerhouse that India has become.
And to ensure that the future of the country stays bright, we at the MSRE work hard to provide a voice to the youth. We know that the youth is the future, the leaders of tomorrow, and we provide them with a stage to go out and perform, to get their voices and opinions heard, and to help them inculcate crucial skills like public speaking, critical thinking, etc. In a world where there are thousands of reasons for humans to divide, the MSCD wishes to bring them together and unite them with their common interests. Now, I would like to invite you all to watch this video about the MSCD. Is my screen visible?
Not right now.
Hmm. Is it visible now?
Yes, now it's visible.
Okay.
Kartike, the audio is not audible.
The audio is not working. Okay. One second.
Well, yes,
Sorry.
with Arshita, she'll be joining in a second.
Okay.
Okay, not an issue.
Thank you, everyone. And I just
Okay.
so then everyone
Can we wait for just 5 minutes more to for Aryan to get in? Actually, he's out. So
we'll go to the next team then. So okay. I would like Raina and Yoshita Kumar to take the floor and tell us about their views on yet another extremely important part of the economy, especially the Indian economy, unemployment. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can I share the screen for the PPT?
Of course.
Is education really worth?
What is the importance of getting employed in India?
Worried how are you going to get employed?
Are you planning to leave to abroad after your school years?
Tackling unemployment and building a skilled employed population. Hello everyone, I'm Urshita Kumar.
And I'm Raina Madan. This is a conversation between a reporter and a 20-year-old student preparing for government exams. This hypothetical village has 50 families, in which each member from a family is applying for government jobs or so. So, what does your family do? And what are you planning to do?
Living on agriculture and it's not satisfying our family's need. So I just attempted my government exam.
When did you give your examination?
My examination a year ago.
What is your result?
Didn't get it still as it's going through the checking process.
Why only government jobs though?
I feel this job is really stable and a lot of people from my village are applying for this.
If people are applying for the job, how many of you are getting the job?
Now none of us got employed, sadly.
What are people in your village doing who didn't get the job?
Some of us gave up, some of us are back to agriculture, and some of us are preparing for the second attempt, and some of us left the cities and became a migrant.
In the above conversation, we can discuss some problems causing unemployment. As the villager said that he didn't get the result for the exam he attempted, even though it's been a year, as the checking process can be time taking because the people doing it are not in the appropriate amount. Secondly, the villager also said that there are a lot of people who attempted the government exam are now migrating to other bigger cities as there is no scope for employment in villages. Thirdly, there is also some research done where we have seen that there are 220 million people unemployed and only 1 million job vacancies have increased over the years. This tells us that the number of jobs are not sufficient compared to the rate of unemployment.
Further, we would also like to talk about what measures can be taken to create a skilled employed population, as it's necessary to have a skilled economic growth for its country and its people. This can include preventing educational unemployment by laying emphasis on skill development and providing people with uh, technical knowledge. It is also focusing on the design industry based curriculums. Delays in examination. As per the above conversation, youngsters have to wait for a year or so for result, which is a very long period indeed. The young people are supposed to be fuel economy, but they are becoming frustrated over the lack of jobs. Time is just going by. People keep studying and waiting. It adds a huge pressure on the students. 4 out of every 100 students end up killing themselves because of the delays. For the solution, government or the central board should select a new set of people or a committee which would help to correct the papers and the results would be out in a swift. This would boost the employment rate and students don't have to hang in the time. less contact. People are migrating from their hometowns to bigger cities like Bangalore, Delhi, and Mumbai. Because of this less job opportunities in their villages, their towns. But when they are migrating to other bigger cities, including them and the people in the cities, they are not having enough competition. They are having competition, and there are all then it's becoming overpopulated, and again there's unemployment. It all becomes a drag. One of the reasons is less contact and awareness. There is no awareness about the jobs and how and where they need it. It's usually a connection in groups and information that is passed through, but there is no official information circulated.
Right, sorry. So, in this topic, it is very much related to the last topic we talked about, migration and less contact, as the main reason why there is less job acceptance in government jobs and less opportunities, because because jobs are mainly located in metropolitan cities, and people in underdeveloped areas can't get jobs, which is why we should increase industrial activity in underdeveloped areas, so that other people can also be facilitated with jobs. And to increase job opportunities, we can also facilitate loans at cheap credit for establishing small business owners.
Why is educated employment a peculiar problem of India? In case of urban areas, educated unemployment has become a common phenomenon, and many youth with matriculation, graduation, and post-graduation degrees are not able to find job. A study showed that employment of graduate and postgraduate has increased faster than any among the matriculates. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as the surplus of manpower in certain categories coexist with a shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technically qualified people on the other hand, and while there is a dearth of technical skills required for the economical growth.
Building a skilled and employed population. This can include preventing educational unemployment by laying emphasis on skill development and providing people with technical knowledge. It can also include focusing on practical based learning and design industry based curriculum. Free awareness programs could be conducted by the government or any non governmental organization. From the industrial side, there should be transparency so that they are able to influence people to work in those industries. And combining the primary and the as such as agriculture and manufacturing sector, such as manufacturing or production, can create more job opportunities, as it can be diversifying agriculture, as there is already 60% of our population is working in agriculture.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Great performance, Raina and Urshita. Very well expressed and very well presented, I must say. Now,
Thank
we'll
you.
invite Rashi and Nivedita to enlighten us on the topic how to deal with and control India's stagflation in the upcoming years. The stage is all yours, guys.
Hello everyone. I Rashi Jain with Nivedita will put forward some ideas on control on how to deal with and control India's stagflation in the upcoming years. Let us understand what is stagflation, an economic cycle characterized by slow growth and a higher unemployment rate accompanied by inflation. For example, if there is sudden, unexpected increase in the price of a commodity like oil, prices surge accordingly while profits drop. The conflict between increased prices is reduced profits leads to a stagflation situation. Here we can see that the GDP falls, the demand falls, but employment and inflation rises.
Rashi, I think your slides are not visible.
Um, let me 1 second, please.
Yes, and please turn on your camera if possible.
Is it moving now?
Are you on reasons causing stagflation?
Okay. Nivedita, can you share the slides, please?
Uh, I haven't joined from my laptop actually. So.
I
I
sent you
can
on
help you
WhatsApp,
out.
right?
Rashi, you have to click on the most down button, which is for present to all. Like
Yes,
there
I
are
did
three
that.
views.
I did that, but it's not moving actually. Even I can see on my mobile that my screen is being shared, but the slides are not moving. It's just that.
Okay. Not an
Uh,
issue if you can share your PPT with us. We do the screen sharing.
just a minute, please. I have sent it in a group. Nupur, if you can share the screen.
Kartiki, can you do so?
Uh, of course, once again. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, it is now visible.
If you guys could start again.
Yes, please. Good evening, everyone. I, Rashi Jain, with Nivedita, will put forward some ideas on how to deal with and control India's stagflation in the upcoming years. Next slide, please. Let us understand what is stagflation. It is an economic cycle characterized by slow growth and a high unemployment rate accompanied by inflation. For example, if there's sudden unexpected increase in the price of a commodity like oil, prices surge accordingly while profits drop. The conflict between increased prices and reduced profits leads to a stagflation situation. Here we can see the GDP and demand falls while the unemployment and inflation rises. Next, please. Let us understand why stagflation happens. The first reason being supply side shocks. It is a sudden spike in an universally required commodity such as oil, which happens to disrupt the supply chain. The second is poor economic policies. This happens when the interest rates are too low for economic conditions, like excessively high government spendings. Now a question arises, what is inflation? It is a rate of increase in prices over a given period of time. Simplifying, inflation refers to a general increase in the prices of goods and services in an economy. When the general price levels rise, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. Consequently, inflation corresponds to a reduction in the purchasing power in the money. Now, next please. Now let us understand the major difference between stagflation and inflation. Stagflation is a situation where unemployment is very high, economic growth is too low, and inflation rate is high. On the other hand, inflation is the rate at which prices of services and goods in an economy increases. Next, please. What causes inflation? First, increased money supply. When the money supply in an economy grows at faster rate than economy's ability to purchase goods and services. Second, devaluation. Inflation tends to devalue a currency since inflation can be equated with a decrease in a money's buying power. Third, rising wages. If wage growth exceeds productivity growth and then firms raise prices to preserve margins and probability, this can drive inflation higher. Third, plays a major role, that is, policies and regulations. Higher interest rates make borrowing more expensive, curtailing both consumption and investment, both of which rely heavily on credit. Over to you, Nivedita.
Thank you, Rashi. And next slide, please. Uh, okay, the factors are that has been repeated. So the next slide. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the kind of inflation that India is currently facing. So there are two types: demand pull inflation and the cost push inflation. So on the demand pull inflation, we can understand that the aggregate demand for goods is exceeding the supply. So that means to reduce these demand, what is being done is the prices are being increased. But this is not the case with India, because when there is a demand pull inflation, what happens is that there is actually employment created. A trade off happens because uh, because when there is more demand, you have to ramp up production, and when production is ramped up, it will automatically create jobs. But this is not what is happening in the case of India, which is facing a cost push inflation. In a cost push inflation situation, what is happening is that next slide, please. Yeah. So in a cost push inflation, what is happening is that the producer is, yeah. So the production process itself is very expensive. The inputs are very high, hence raising the price of the product, thus causing inflation. And in the case of unemployment in India, as the previous team had mentioned very clearly, that there is this tendency for the people to go after government jobs. And this can be seen even in the statistics. It is seen that almost like at the ages of 22 to 32 of educated youth, particularly in India, most of them are unemployed. Almost 80% of the people are unemployed because they are in this process of seeking jobs. And the other part, which is the uneducated youth, who have just less than 10 years of education, we can see the statistics reversed, where only 2% of the people are not employed, because they go after these jobs which are for manufacturing as well as agriculture jobs, and these jobs actually help in job creation. So now I want to move on to how India can handle the situation of stagflation that is currently occurring. As we know, this severely affects the poor people in the country. And we can see that India is not at the point of reaching a high rate of stagflation. It is on the verge of like having a stagflation kind of situation. So we have to take prevention steps rather than tackling it. So we are still at the nascent ages, and by in the India at the time when it is 100, if we follow the current steps, we can actually prevent this bad situation from happening. So one of the things that we can do is increasing production level in a way where after it reaches a certain level, there are enough jobs created in the economy, and then tighten the monetary policies to tackle inflation. So that includes charging higher taxes, as well as the interest rates should be higher, so that the inflation in the economy is controlled. The second point that I'm coming to is having an adequate amount of liquidity in the economy, so that the credit takers as well as the inflation in the country is controlled. There is a level of credit, there is a level of interest where people are willing to take loans, but at the same time, the credit shouldn't be so low that that the money circulation in this economy will increase at a rapid pace. Another issue that I was talking about was tackling unemployment among the youth. And that is a major way by which we can seriously reduce this phenomenon of uh, youth unemployment and underemployment among youth. We need to make the manufacturing sector more attractive for the youth to pursue such jobs, and the working conditions, such measures can be taken by the government to improve the situation. Another thing that we can do is, like, we have to make changes in the trade policy so that the inputs are not as expensive as it is right now, and we will control the situation. And as well as there should be a push for capital expenditure. So through these steps, I am sure that if India can have an economy which is strong and has reached its full employment level. So thank you.
That was extremely knowledgeable, you both. We thank everyone. We thank you both for presenting your valuable thoughts. You did justice to this crucial subject, I must say. So now moving
Yeah.
forward to one Shah for
Uh,
presenting.
yes. So now we ask one shot to tell us about his topic, which is ensuring fair digital finance in India.
Okay, so is my screen visible now?
Yes, it
Yes, it
is.
is.
Okay. So today we're talking about ensuring fair digital finance in India. Now, for the first of all, the problem is, according to the World Bank, as of 2021, out of the population of 7.8 billion people in the world, more than 5 billion people live in moderate poverty with spending powers of less than $5.5 a day due to the pandemic. And after the Ukraine war, an estimated additional 75 to 95 million people will be extreme poverty, will suffer from extreme poverty as compared to the pre-pandemic projections. Adversities faced in the current global financial system. According to the Federal Trade Commission, more than 1.4 million Americans also reported being a victim of identity theft in 2021. Another 1.5 million filed complaints related to other kinds of identity fraud. Both sums are annual records. The State of Tax Justice 2021 found that countries miss out on $312 billion annually due to tax abuse by MNCs and additional $171 billion via individual tax evasion. Data scientist Miroslav Palansky said in a release that those numbers, which represent direct losses by governments, are likely the only tip of the iceberg. From trade based money laundering, buy now, pay later, to non fungible tokens, 2021 found fraud in financial crime professionals dealing with a plethora of new challenges and criminal schemes. Newly released Federal Trade Commission trade data shows that consumers report more than $5.8 billion in losses to fraud in 2021, an increase of more than 70% over the previous year, and that's a huge number. The FTC received fraud reports from more than $2.8 million consumers last year, with the most common reported category once again being the imposter scams, followed by other scams like online shopping. If we check on the data of 2021, $5.8 billion were lost to fraud, and the banks were able to recover just 591 $591 million, and that too with using complex tech stacks and multiple human reviews, and that's a tedious process. So here comes the big question: what has to be done? So we're introducing blockchain technology in financial systems. So blockchain technology decentralizes financial system and helps democratize economy, providing a transparent and secure ecosystem. A blockchain terminates the need of a centralized authority to prevent any unethical addition of the data of users. Instead, it distributes the control to a community of verified developers that keep an inspection of every block form and the transaction of every data in the encrypted system of hashes. There are a lot of applications of blockchain and economics. First of all, we'll talk about preventing financial fraud, the biggest of them. Financial fraud can be prevented by blockchain by the following uh, cases. The data in the blocks in the chain is connected by adding the hash of the previous block. So every new data has a point of the previous data. So every data is connected. Every transaction, every financial file, every document is connected. So the change of one block, a person will have to change the entire blockchain, which will take their entire life to do so. Even if some immortal manages to complete it, a voting will be conducted among all the nodes to decide whether to pass an amendment. So this is basically next to impossible, at least for a human. The encrypted data in a block gives a complete history of a transaction, streamlining the inspection of future conflicts. So let's say there's a conflict between a company for their shares and the transactions being made between the stakeholders. Now, using the traditional methods, they won't be able to guess the right transactions, and even if they get it, they can be changed. But if we go with a blockchain that has all the history of the data and the transactions in a company or even in the banks, it will have the record of every single thing done with the money, and that's the great thing. Solving India's taxation loopholes. The benefits of blockchain as one of the most promising methods of improving and simultaneously simplifying the tax system for both the state and the taxpayers. Let's take an example of Finland. In Finland, the tax administration has started working with banks on blockchain system to track taxes on real estate transaction. Again, a great investment which has a lot of conflicts which can be solved using this. Similarly, in Brazil, Federal Tax Administration implemented a system based on blockchain called BCPF to share data on registry of taxpayers or individuals (CPF) between tax and regulatory institutions on three levels of government. This uses an authorized blockchain based on auditable open source software in which only authorized institutions can participate and no other can join it. That makes it amazingly secure. Another thing is transparent invoicing. Documentation of data regulated by the government can be systematically documented using blockchain technology by using it for invoicing various categories of tax collection instruments like taxes on income, profits, and capital gains to international trades, excises, imports, exports, and sales tax. Let's take an example of another country, China. In China, blockchain is already being used to combat false invoicing. The electronic invoices that use a blockchain employ smart contracts and encrypted algorithms to guarantee the defense of an issuance, storage, transmission, and security against falsification of documents. System offers complete traceability and tamper resistance, ensuring the data cannot be changed after the fact. Now, probably you'll be thinking that this is quite a bit tedious process, but it's not. Now, to solve this problem, blockchain introduces automation. A blockchain network can be fed with a workflow data specific to a task, which can be specific to an organization, a banking system, or even the government. The pipeline can iterate the same procedure in all data intakes. So you just have to feed one workflow, one pipeline, and it will iterate on every data. So banks will not have to manage several tags, which will optimize the workforce expenditure, which can be used for providing better services to their clients. That will be beneficial for the country. In insurance, for example, once a customer has provided all necessary documents to file a claim, the claim can automatically be settled and paid, and there will be need of no middlemen, no commissions, and a seamless process. To summarize everything, we by greatly reducing paperwork and errors, blockchain significantly reduces overhead and transaction costs, and reduces or eliminates the need of third parties or middlemen to verify transactions. Blockchain is sometimes called the trustless network, not because business partners don't trust each other, but because they don't have to. Transactions can be even be automated by smart contracts, which can increase your efficiency and speed the process even further. And that's it for today. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. I think I'll go first because I was facing network issues.
Hello. Yeah. Can
So,
you
am I
handle
on?
maybe without the Nupur? Am I audible
Yes,
to
sir.
you?
Yes, you're audible, Ratha.
Okay. And am I visible to you now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Very good evening, everyone. Definitely, I first of all congratulate all of you for the zeal and enthusiasm with which we've participated in this event. Majority of you in the past couple of days. And although still have not have had the opportunity to browse through your works, I will be doing that recently now, and then moving forward, you will be receiving all the various recognitions for your accomplishments that you've made in the past couple of days. I would definitely like to say that I would like to compliment Karthikeyan, Nipur, and all of you for the wondrous efforts that you've put in. But I think so that India at 100, the first virtual event which is being done by the emissary, is perhaps, as we celebrate 75 years of independence, it was an opportunity for all of us to reflect on how we want the next 25 years to be, reflect on the past, and visualizing the ideas, the vision that the leaders of the future hold. A very critical moment for the world and for MSC also, for us also. As many of you would be aware that all of you have participated in, months and debates and all those kind of things. And while they are definitely beneficial, it was time for us to take a step up. And that is the attempt we made with India at 100. To give you and provide you with the freedom and the space to express yourself in the way you want to. I think so. Most of you chose PowerPoint presentation, but I think so. You can do literally anything. Like it can be PowerPoint presentation, it can be model or whatever seems specific to your interest, like whatever aligns to your particular interest. So I think so. That was the attempt that we made here with visualizing India at 100. Yeah, over time, as more of these series, the whole series unfolds and we hold further deliberations on different agendas, we expect that diversity to show up. As you all must be aware of the NSCD, I hope Karthik and Upur must have told you that we are the world's first global mass media network to be operated by teenagers. So I am 17 and I'm the founder of the organization. So it's just basically we are just same young people striving for bigger things, impactful things, and trying to generate the influence. I think so. Ideas unfold over a period of time and you work with it. So, India at 100, maybe you thought of something else on day one, develop into a completely different thing on day three. Same it was for us, like me and my friends were working on a blogging platform. And then, we just try to bring more people on board with different interests so we can cover more subjects. And then it ultimately, we got an idea, I think so after 6 long months, that, what if we create a mass media network which is only operated by teenagers? That would mean that giving the world a perspective on over 150 issues, starting all the way from astronomy to zoology, and this the raw perspective of teenagers on each of these issues, the ideas of the leaders of the future, on how their future wants to be. So we've been doing a lot of stuff since then, and we had the privilege that ever since our inauguration in the month of May, like we started working on the emissary in October last year. In the month of May, there was our inauguration by the Indian Minister for Environment, and ever since we've had engagements literally in so many spheres. Be it internationally, we've been engaging. Currently, we're trying to deliver in Russia. We are engaging with the Russian embassy staff. We are engaged in Somalia to deliver on the food and security crisis over there, and myriad other fronts. Be it the for the LGBTQ rights or everything else. But our ultimate aim is that for the 150 topics that we cover, from all the way from astronomy to zoology, to have a dedicated team of teenagers for each of those 150 topics, and then they produce content in that free space in any particular format they want, and they run their our web platform through their work, and DM3 will be the representation of the raw perspective of teenagers on literally each and every critical global issue, pressing issue. And I think so that will be a very impactful thing for the whole world, because the world will also get an insight of what the youth of today thinks. So that is what we are trying to do with the MCD. And we are still at a developing stage. Teams are building up. We've not yet started functioning as a mass media network, and I think so we'll still take more than a year or so to get into that mass media thing. But still at our developing stage, we are trying to engage with the youth, and our current emphasis was on recruitment. Recruiting teenagers with zeal and passion. Those who can commit themselves behind an idea and a vision. Those who think out of the box, dare to think out of the box, and then do what they think out of the box. And I said, in our team discussions, I said, how about we roll out with an event, apart from doing all the selection procedures that we do, why don't we just go out, do an event, engage with them directly and see for ourselves what, the teens of today, our generation, our peers think, and then maybe identify them and select them. So I think so. The exceptional performers that we have in today's, here at India 100 Economics Council and the other councils also and the other groups also, wherever all the exceptional performers will be there, they'll be identified. I think so. We are having Mr. Leo Puri for this particular economics council, who is the chairman of South and Southeast Asia, JP Morgan, and you'll be, based on your work, you'll be getting interning opportunities there, which is a very big thing. They only take college graduates, but because we were able to connect with them, and we were able to request them, and they accepted our request, negotiate with them to provide opportunities to those still in maybe high school, or maybe still going through their college, and it may be in a completely different field, but there's always a scope to learn. So I think so that was a very big thing. And apart from this, other performers who've done really well will be made office by us also, the MSc also, to join us. I think so in the Economics Council, Karthik and Upar are there, so economics coterie of the MSc, and um, whomever they deem fit, can contribute. And if you yourself are willing, because again, it's about willingness, then you can also come on board and work for the MSc, work with us, and join a family. The thing is that the MSc will provide you an opportunity to basically explore, what the many multifaceted professional career of yours would be like, and initiate it at such a young age, so you're very well equipped going on into the, the global picture and your individual picture also, taking on your professional career. So that's what we lay emphasis on. But apart from that, it is not just about us, it is also about you. Your capacity to contribute is secondary. Your capacity to contribute is secondary. Your willingness to contribute is primary. That's the most important thing. How much you're willing, how much you believe in your ideas, and how much you fought there to implement them. All of us have examinations and all those kind of things. We're teenagers, we're occupied with a hundred stuff, but it is those who strive, who think out of the box, who go out of their comfort zone, who change the world. So if you want, feel more than free to, I think so, definitely Karthik and Apur will be recommending names. And, after we go through your work also, we'll be also providing you with, and opportunities to join us and work with us. And if you feel fine, then you're most welcome. And I hope to see, some of you join us and, in our team. And that will be, I think, so really great. Moving forward, I believe a very wonderful thing, has been accomplished here is that we've initiated, I think so, platform in form of India at 100 to get the most ingenious young minds of the country deliberate upon the future they desire, the future they want to strive for, and come with absolutely out of the boxes ideas. And let me tell you, let me assure you, maybe you might participate in that, the other groups also, the councils also, that if your idea is capable of creating impact, is capable of generating influence, then it is, I assure you personally also and on behalf of the MSC as chairman founding the MS3, that we will pursue it at a higher level. I think so you can ask, we engage with politicians, with ministers, with government, senior members of the government, bureaucrats, business leaders, everyone, and we will take that ahead, and we will take you ahead, your idea ahead. But your identity at the embassy is nothing else but your idea, your commitment, and your work. So I think so wonderful, the things that have been going on here, and I definitely look forward, Karthik, for the works of the many wonderful people that have been here, and then we'll put them forward, and we'll browse through it. I'll browse through it personally, and definitely will come back with my marks. I compliment all of you once again. If you have any suggestions personally, you want to direct towards me, any ideas you have out of the box regarding the MSCD, regarding India at 100, or regarding any particular idea you hold yourself, you can always mail to me at athar@themscd.co.in. I read my mails myself, and will definitely assure you of a response. So I think so. That is what I just wanted to say. Thank you very much, Karthik and Upar, and all the wonderful participants. It's been a pleasure hosting you all for the past couple of days. Thank you.
Okay, that is amazing to hear, Athav. We really are always glad to hear your opinion, your views, and things. So, as Athav has already mentioned, we have coteries in the ministry, which is basically groups of people who are interested into the same things, right? Like, so me and Nupur, we are heading the economics coterie, and today we launch it in front of all of you. And if you'd like to ask to join the coterie, we'll be sending out forms for the coterie in by tonight or tomorrow morning. So you guys can fill that out. If you're interested, of course, you must be willing, as it was mentioned. And most of it has been covered. We just want you all to know that we were very, very glad to have you all, to hear from all of you, to hear all of your presentations and opinions. And it was amazing. Just a great experience for us too, right? And we hope that you learned something out of the event. And with that, also the certificates of merit, the prizes, they would be announced in a couple of days. We require time to evaluate everyone properly and to give everyone equal thought. So we'll be mailing out the results, and we'll be giving everyone certificates for their hard work. And that brings us to an end of the event. If anybody would like to say something, please go ahead.
It was a great year.
Am I
Yeah,
audible now?
it was.
Yes, Vedant, please
Right.
go ahead. Sorry, Urshita, just give us some minute.
Sure, sure, sure. A very good evening, everybody. Firstly, I would like to offer my sincere compliments to each and every one of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Atharv and me, like he told, we got the MSA together with the motive to promote something out of the ordinary. And today I feel that I saw that over here. Even as the observer who studied about these topics, I felt that I took a lot from today. And I'm sure it's the same for everybody as well. And most of my other thoughts have been summed up by Atharv already. And surely, if any of you are interested in joining the emissary, I'd look forward to working with you. That is it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidharth. Okay, yeah, Urshita, you want to go ahead?
I just wanted to thank everyone and especially Karthik and Nupu for giving us this opportunity. I really enjoyed it and I really liked working on it. Thank you.
That is great,
Yeah,
Urshita. Thank you for joining us. We are really glad that you could be a part of the evening
yeah.
and add value to the event.
Also, one small thing, guys. We'll be sending out feedback forms too in the group itself. So please don't leave and fill those. We really appreciate if you have anything else to add. Um, and that is about it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you.
fun to work with all of you.
I'm very glad that you got to learn something. You had fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a
Bye.
good day.
Yeah.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night. Good night.